That's weird. Did I?
So
Oh, never mind. Facebook stream was taking forever to recognize for whatever reason. The upload rate is really, really low right now. Hey, what's going on, Junkies? It's Kenshiro. We're back with Culture Junkies Live. Sorry, we're starting a little bit late again today. Promise I'm going to get all these technical issues worked out. But we got a somewhat okay show to do today. It's E3 week. A lot of new announcements have come out. Um, so we will go ahead and get to the show. Joining me today is GQ. What's up, man?
not too much. Just here chilling. Um, I don't know. Just shocked by some of the stuff we saw at E3 this year. It's about time we had a E3 that you get a little bit excited about.
Oh, really? I was kind of getting the idea that a lot of people were not really feeling E3 this year. Not really a lot of super exciting announcements to come out. Some people weren't really that into what came out. So why don't you go ahead and tell us exactly what was bumping at E3 for you?
Well, obviously the Dragon Ball game. I mean, it's about
Well,
time we've
yeah.
got a real Dragon Ball game that actually lives up to what Dragon Ball is all about. But I think what really struck me this year was just seeing that I don't know, just kind of seeing the hype that was around the new Xbox because it's like it's the first time you've had a 4K console, but the problem is it's showing up, but it's showing up at what appears to be almost the near end of the life cycle for these systems. Because granted, it's like, back in the day, like, systems were expected to last at least 5 to 7 years. And not sure how many years it's been for the Xbox One, but this being its third iteration, and you know, PC games still, I mean, PC can still, obviously, like they always do, kind of blow it out of the water.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, you still got your high end PC thing going. Yes, this is a good solution, but it's like they don't have enough exclusives to really carry it, in my opinion. But the other thing that I was happy about is Cuphead has finally, got a release date.
Yes, Cuphead. That was actually one thing I remember. I said I was actually going to end up probably buying a an
Yep.
Xbox 360. 360. Look at me. Not 360. An Xbox One for. Um,
Yep.
but like you were saying, a lot of games are going to be on PC, so I might, I can probably avoid having to buy an Xbox One S or even a One X now. So that was the other big announcement for them is like the Xbox One S X, excuse me. Look at me, I'm getting already tongue tied between the two. Um,
Hmm.
and it's going to be the most powerful system that we've ever seen so far on the market, but it's also got a pretty hefty price tag. Do you think that's going to turn people off from it?
It depends. It's 499. A lot of people were expecting five. I'm sorry, we're expecting maybe even potentially 600. Um, I mean, granted, you wouldn't really be able to touch a truly high-end gaming computer for less than at least 7 or 8. And I mean, and that's being generous because I mean, obviously, if you get a 1080 video card, that's damn near 4 or 500 bucks right there by itself. So it's like, yeah, you're gonna get some bang for your buck out of this system, but how long is it gonna last? And I think that's where the issue is going to be. They're gonna have to really, because I mean, obviously, Forza is gonna look great.
Mm-hmm.
They better have a dedicated gears coming for that, for that system. And but
Mm-hmm.
here's the other problem: it can't be 100% dedicated because it still has to be able to play on the original. Xbox One. So I mean,
Can I interrupt real quick?
go right
Yes,
ahead,
sir.
sir.
Just to give you guys some a little bit of tidbits. Let me turn this radio off. Yeah, what you're saying is it's somewhat kind of true, but they're not coming out with new ones. They're just going to patch existing ones. And being the fact it has the same architecture, it's going to be able to be basically backwards compatible, but just the games that are optimized are going to run better. So there's a lot of games, excuse me, that are going to be patched, Gears of War being one of them, that will be a 4K 60 frames a second patch for people who get the X, and those who don't have it don't get that upgrade in resolution and frame rate.
No,
But
I
yeah,
understand that. No, I understand that, but I mean, it's the same thing as with the PS4 Pro. If you could make a game that has absolutely no ties to an old architecture or an old whatever, that would be a perfectly optimized high-end game. But you can't do that because obviously this isn't a brand new system. It's just the
well,
next Xbox.
they're going to be doing what they do on PCs, because like PCs, you get one game. If your system handles it, high end, then it handles it. If it doesn't, it's probably more than likely like you're not going to be able to touch the settings. The
Hmm.
system is going to set all that stuff for you. So if you buy a game, it's going to know, okay, I can run this at full max.
Right.
You got put into a 4K, Xbox, whatever, the Xbox X. If you put it in one that's not, it's going to be like, okay, I can't run it at this. Pretty sure that's what's going to end up happening. But I think also is going to end up happening, they're probably going to start phasing out the non 4K ones, because what's the point really of having them? Why give people an option? Because it's going to come out, it's going to be $500. A year later, they're going to drop the price. You all know that because they do it for everything.
Of
And then they're
course.
just going to slowly phase out those things where uh, so people don't even have to worry about that. At
More than
least,
likely.
at least for me. Did you guys even talk about how now the Xbox is going to play the whole entire family? So you can put in your original Xbox games in your Xbox One and and the X, of course, and be able to play your games. They don't say which ones, but it's probably going to be close to 500 Xbox original. And Hyperkin is re-releasing the Duke. If you
Oh
guys remember that,
goodness.
yeah. Some people apparently like that controller. I personally did not, so I would
Yeah.
not be buying it. But Hyperkin is re-releasing it where you can use it for the Xbox One and PC if you choose to.
Yeah. That. Okay.
Yeah, I mean,
It's got
I guess that's the thing too, is what why should we be excited about playing the old Xbox games? I mean, those are so old.
Cam.
I mean, like some
Let me
studies were
tell you
coming
something.
out saying that some of the like the Sony people that said that would like use the backwards compatibility are so infinitesimally small, it's not even really worth it for them to do it, and that's why they didn't put it in.
And, and that's some bullshit, because I'm going to tell you something right now. Most of you guys out there in the Junkie Nation have not seen my collection. Right now, I have, besides my PlayStation 1, of course, I have the backwards compatible PlayStation 3, but I still have to have my PlayStation 2 hooked up, because that said PlayStation 2 or PlayStation 3 will not play anything that's PlayStation 2 or PlayStation 1 import. All right. So for me, I like video games. I don't care if it's the current generation, old generation. If a game is fun, I want to play it. I have my Xbox original ones hooked up right now, but they're component only, and I have to try to upscale them to HD. Because the highest thing for Xbox was 480p. That's fine and dandy. If I can take my Xbox games, which I have a few of them that I've never gotten around to play, and I can just stick it in the machine that's going to upscale it to, you know, a resolution where my TV can handle it and it looks great. I want that. Panzer Dragoon Order. I didn't buy it when it first came out there. If you guys, anybody out there in the nation knows, Panzer Dragoon is a fun game, and Order was one of those things that was made the Xbox original worth buying. And there's a lot of, other titles like that. I mean, just because something is not current gen doesn't mean it's irrelevant. Just whoever has that thinking is just like, oh, I just want to sell the new stuff. Screw everything else. For me, I
Well,
think it's cool. I wish the PlayStation 4 did. I literally wish I could take my PlayStation 1, 2, 3 discs, put them in my PlayStation 4, and play them. And I I can't do that.
Well, here's the thing, and Daidakuji and I are kind of the exceptions to that rule for a lot of people because we do keep our older systems. We're more willing to play on our older systems, and obviously having the backwards compatibility is also helpful as well. I think the thing is they do it for people that aren't like us. That because again, you and I don't really trade in systems like that. Most people, when a new system comes out, the 360 is about to head right over to GameStop, get traded in for that value towards whatever's next. So I think since you and I don't really do that as often, backwards compatibility is great for us at the same time of also, okay, it's not really a huge deal, but for a lot of people, I think it is a big deal because a lot of people, if they don't want to get rid of some of those old games, like you were saying, and especially they don't have the real estate to really have multiple systems hooked up to the same TV, or if, in some cases, it's not even possible to hook up some of these older systems to your newer TVs without a whole bunch of extra work. I think having that backwards compatibility is a good advantage. Now, for me personally, I can take it or leave it on some of the things because it's like, okay, I can understand Sony dropping backwards compatibility support after the first run of the PS3 because they went all the way back to the original PlayStation with the first models that came out, and having it on the 4 would have just been like, okay, that's just yet one more thing you got to throw in there that's going to crank your price way up. That they it's like, look, they need to push systems out and move systems because the PS3 obviously didn't sell nearly as well as it could have if they didn't jump out there with a $600 price tag because of all the stuff that they included. So I think the backwards compatibility for Xbox this time around is a really good thing because, like you said, it's one box that's going to kind of rule them all when it comes to the Xbox line.
Well, that part I guess is cool. Having one box to do it all, do everything that you want. I don't know. I don't see a lot of people going backwards, except for the absolute hardcore collectors that do have a lot of games. Because call it what you will, but most modern gamers have a notoriously short attention span, so they're not necessarily going to want to pick up some old game that doesn't look as good as the newer game. It's for nostalgia's sake. I mean, I'm not poo-pooing the idea. I'm not saying it's a terrible idea. I just don't see the masses really gravitating towards it. But that's just me.
And they may not, but retro gaming is in, and the original Xbox, man, is just they had a lot of cool, especially if you're a Sega fan. Shit, and I haven't heard anything out of the E3 that Sega was announced. They were talking about, oh, we're bringing back these titles, I haven't heard
You didn't hear
anything
nothing about that. Yeah, nothing.
Like, just with just being able to play some of the, I just hope they work because here's a little story for you. I actually have 2 original Xboxes. Now, it was kind of a fluke how I got it. Walked into a thrift store, saw one for $25. I say, hell, I'm going to pick it up. Came with 2 controllers and just happened to have a game on the inside. Like, I don't even know if they're aware of it. And then our buddy Kingpin gave me his Xbox One, right? So one Xbox One, for whatever reason, one Kingpin gave me.
Just gave it to you.
Certain games, just give it to me. Certain games, for whatever reason, will not work in that Xbox. Like Voodoo Vince, when you put it in the Xbox, the screen is distorted. But if you put it in the thrift store Xbox, it works perfectly. But the thrift store Xbox won't turn on or off unless you unplug it. So I can't just have one locked up because not all the games work in one.
So you got a Frankenstein's monster over there.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. So
it won't turn off unless you unplug it. Wow, that's crazy. Wow.
Yeah, you press the button. So as soon as you plug it in, it turns right on. So it is what it is. So for that Xbox, I don't even need those original Xbox anymore. I can finally take one and mod it, but I don't really need to mod it because I got other things. Get a Retro Pi or some crap, but whatever. I could, sell them, but I probably won't. I just put them in storage, and somebody in the year 2070,
You realize if you had the money for all the stuff that you said you would or potentially could sell out of your gaming collection, you'd be probably be a millionaire.
Pretty rich, my friend. Yeah, you'd be pretty rich.
Collection, you got those guys on freaking YouTube. They got just collections that dwarf mine, and they're not even.
I did not say for you what you would actually make. I said for all the times you said it.
Oh, yeah. I did say I have sold stuff fast. I got rid of stuff. Shouldn't do it, but
right. Well, let's start talking about the actual games that we did see. GQ already mentioned Dragon Ball Fighters with a Z at the end. I'm eagerly looking forward to that. The Spider-Man demo kind of hit late last not demo, I shouldn't say. The gameplay trailer kind of hit last night. Now, I want to briefly talk about that. To me, looks great, may even play great, but have they exhausted everything they can do with Spider-Man? I don't know. Maybe it's just me. I don't really see a lot of really revolutionary stuff coming out of that game. That's just me. Also, we have the announcement that Shadow of Colossus is getting a remake. There's this one game starting. Anthem. Thank you, Fallen Marvel. There it is. Anthem is coming out, and everybody's like seems to be super hyped about that game. I missed it. I must have missed the boat, so I didn't see it. What's Anthem all about?
I'm gonna have to check the trailer on Anthem because he's brought one out that I didn't see either. So
yeah, Anthem is getting a lot of hype. Let's see what else is getting a lot of hype. You said Cuphead. Cuphead is actually is getting ready. Oh, what am I saying? Metroid. We finally have a new Metroid. Even though we didn't get to see anything, we didn't get to see any footage or anything like that. We're gonna get another Metroid Prime. This could be great. This could be bad. What do you think?
It depends. Here's the thing with me and 3D Metroid, and it's odd sometimes playing Metroid in 3D like that. It was such a great 2D platformer that it's like sometimes doing the 3D is like it just takes away from. I don't know. It's almost like it takes away from the challenge of like, okay, like for example, in the original Metroid, when you had to like do like the bomb trick to get up and over certain walls and things like that. In 3D, it's like there's nothing like that. It's like you just kind of usually just grapple up and you're up and over and you're done.
Right.
You know, it's not so much that it makes it any less challenging. It's just for me, it makes it a little bit less exciting when you do stuff because now you just basically made it just like every other 3D game. There's always a way to simplify whatever it is you're trying to do. And Metroid was kind of partially about the exploration and the puzzles and all that other sort of thing.
Right.
That's just my take on it.
No, I feel you on that. I'm a little bit excited for a Metroid game, being brand new. But again, it's on Nintendo Switch. It's locked to Nintendo. I'm still not excited to get a Nintendo Switch. I mean, we saw some footage of Super Mario Odyssey as well. We're getting another Metroid game on the 3DS. I guess that's something to look forward to. But I don't know. For me, overwhelmed. E3 this year was kind of underwhelming. Did you kind of feel that way a little bit compared to E3s of the past? I guess we could say.
Well, I don't know if Title's going to take it or not, but E3 of the past is usually you had a bunch of event games or really big announcements. And I think the problem is you can't really do E3. Again, it's the same thing that happens with Comic-Con. Everything that's exciting about it already gets leaked, or you see trailers for it well before they really get around to the announcements. Like for example, when let's go all the way back to when Metal Gear Solid first came out. Like there was an entire like build up about that, and then you see the actual trailer, and then the trailer was like 9 minutes long, and it had this really hype music to go along with it, and it's timed out really well. So I mean, it's almost like they don't do that anymore.
They can't.
And it's probably exactly. It's because they can't. It's hard for them. Their own problem, their own fault for not keeping secrets the way they used to. Now, granted, for me, this Dragon Ball Z fighters rather is that was a shock because I didn't know it. They're even working on something like that.
Right.
So that was cool, but some of the other stuff is like you already know it's coming in some instances.
True.
Yep.
Let's see.
I missed the question because I was so excited to talk to you guys. So excited to talk to you guys. The phone died. I had to reboot and plug it in.
The phone died.
I kind of missed stuff, but like if I caught the tail end, if you're talking about excitement, like it used to be exciting before mass media, kind of what GQ is saying with all the leaks. But sometimes with the leaks. Like a few weeks ago, I did hear about an Arc System Works Dragon Ball, Z fighting game, and I was just like heard about it, but you didn't see it. So, I mean, it's kind of different hearing about something and actually seeing it, because like for the most part, everything that was really exciting that Sony showed, they showed last year. And like God of War, they showed last year. They showed Detroit, Becoming Human. They showed that last year, and so it wasn't a surprise. But like, even though you knew that the X1X was coming, now you have a price point, so it's a little bit more like, okay, now I know what's going on. Cuphead, you knew Cuphead was coming around. You finally got a release date, and you saw a little bit more of the footage. So I think it really has to do with not necessarily, leaks or whatnot. It's just don't show it. If like a picture gets leaked, okay. If a name of something gets leaked, okay, because they leaked Nintendo's sheet of what they were going to show today, but you didn't see any video, you didn't see any pictures. But on that list, it said that new Metroid Prime, it said a 2D Metroid is coming. It said a lot of stuff that they actually showed today, and I want to see that report, because that worked while Nintendo was doing their press release.
Well, okay. Stay on this topic of Nintendo then. You do not have a Switch. Did anything they announced today make you want to get one?
Yeah. Well, like I said, I didn't see a whole bunch of the stuff. I know they talked more about Mario Odyssey. I am a Mario fanatic. Now, Mario games proper, that is. I don't care for Mario Party. I'm not a big Smash Bros fan. I know it's a popular game out there. It wasn't one that really clicked with me, so that's fine. But Mario proper games, meaning the platformers, I as the youngins back in the 90s used to say, mark out for those. So I want to switch for Mario Odyssey. Pretty good. And then Metroid, even though it's not on the Switch, because Metroid Prime, I have not played those, even though everybody tells me they're good. And maybe one day I'll fire them up, because I do have them. I just haven't played them. Metroid 2 remake. I don't know if you guys out there knew about another Metroid remake that got pulled not too long ago. Well, there was a reason. Nintendo everybody was pissed off, because like, Sega, if you guys are not going to do anything, you might as well let the fans do something with it. Well, Nintendo was doing something with it, and apparently they remade Metroid 2 that came out for the Game Boy so many years ago. And though the fan remake is Super Metroid-esque, the new one is completely made from the ground up with 3D, 2D, 2.5D graphics, and I'm not buying the 3DS. I'm gonna get that 2DS, because I personally don't need 3D. I see life in 3D. I don't need to see my video games, unless the holodeck becomes reality.
Right.
I don't need it.
Well,
but those are the two that I know of that I definitely want. Mario's enough for me to buy a new system.
Okay. Well,
Period.
let me ask you this then, gentlemen. Overall of E3, what was the thing that got you the most hype? Be it Battlefront 2, be it anything. What got you the most hyped out of everything that you've seen from E3 so far, that's been announced so far this past weekend, moving up to today?
Cuphead, Dragon Ball Z Fighters.
Okay.
Mario Odyssey. And Metroid 2 remake, whatever they call it.
Come on, man. I was trying to ask you for one. You can't stick to just one?
Well, if it's kind of difficult, because I want to play them all, but if I had to just pick one, I'd have to pick the one that I own the system for, so I don't have to spend money for new hardware. It had to be
cheapo.
Had to be Cuphead, because I already have a freaking Xbox One.
Right.
So
what about you, GQ?
I don't have Switch.
Well, I'm always going to default to Star Wars, because the Star Wars Battlefront 2 looks really, really good. The Z Fighters is going to be great, but I mean, it's still a fighting game, so it has its limitations as far as how much replayability. I mean, it's kind of limitless. Star Wars is always Star Wars, and the better you keep making it look, the more I'm going to keep coming back to play it.
Agreed. The one thing that I actually really did like, one thing I like the most about Battlefront 2 is that it's completely DLC free. All the DLC you'll get, you buy the game, you get it all. The microtransactions are going to be, I guess, for gear. Is that right? Like blasters or maybe even skins or something like that. Would you say, GQ? Is that what I'm hearing right?
believe so. I mean, again, it's when it comes to Star Wars, as long as I have a lightsaber, I don't really care. Like,
Right.
I don't need extra blasters. I don't need any of that other stuff. You give me a chance to play as Darth Maul, Darth Vader, Darth. I didn't really like Darth Sidious as much in the Battlefront, the most recent Battlefront. But I
Mm-hmm.
mean, it's like I've always liked Jedi and Sith more so than anything in all of Star Wars lore. So I mean, having the chance to have Darth Maul fight Yoda and all these various things are going to be really cool. So
Indeed.
that's all I really need. I don't really have to add any extra microtransactions for me.
Okay. Well, for me, it might be. I don't want to say Dragon Ball Z Fighters, even though it does have me really hyped, but mostly because I wasn't expecting it. Like, and the fact that we've been wanting Arc System Works to do a Dragon Ball game forever, for absolutely freaking ever. And they're finally getting around to doing it. I think that's worth the hype alone. I might have to side with Spider-Man a little bit only because, I love Spider-Man and, seeing, this is going to be literally the best looking Spider-Man that we've ever seen. It seems to, move very well. I don't know. We'll have to see. Fallen Marvel seems to think that there might be something hidden underneath. It might be a revolutionary Spider-Man game. We'll have to see. We've got Sean checking in on Periscope over watching on Twitter. Thank you for watching. He thinks that Sony won E3. I mean,
Sorry, I'm sorry.
don't laugh, man. I mean, this is his opinion, and he's welcome to it. I'm not gonna disagree with him. So
Disagree by that laugh because as much as I like Sony and as cool as the game is, God of War, Spider-Man is going to be, Shadow Colossus, they've already remastered it once before. They're going to do it again. Whatever. The crowd at their presentation was so unenthused.
they
They were
were,
dead.
they
They were showing
were.
games and they were doing nothing. It's like I'm so sorry if you think Sony won. More power to you, man. I think you need to take the Sony goggles off and just be a gamer because as of right now, the games, though they look great, I'm not saying that they were not awe aspiring at
Tony
all.
Mentor
And as
says
of right now, I mean,
Nintendo won it. Anthony Mentor says Nintendo won it. I
Based
disagree.
on what?
Yeah, I'm trying
I
to figure that out too.
presentation. I want to know. I haven't seen the presentation, but if you go on Nintendo brands, just Nintendo brands, Mario. Of course, they already had Zelda out. They got the Metroid. They got some, even though it's Ubisoft, but it's some Mario game with the rabbit. I mean, they're putting their foot. Says like some people say, putting a foot in it. I mean, I got to
Well,
see the
here's
presentation.
here's my issue with that though. And again, it's Nintendo is nothing if consistent, but it's always the same stuff. So I mean,
That's true, but it's fun.
it's
It's kind of like me and sweet and sour chicken. You know me, dude. We're going
Mm-hmm.
to a Chinese restaurant. I'm going to try the sweet and sour chicken. Now, granted, everybody makes it different, but
Mm-hmm.
one restaurant we go to, that's all I'm getting. So if I'm talking Nintendo, I don't give a shit. They're making sweet and sour chicken. It tastes fucking delicious. Every
I
single.
understand. I
Okay.
understand that, but to me, like if Nintendo really wanted to shine, and it's fine that they've been doing,
Mm-hmm.
Mario and various things for the past forever.
Yeah.
It would be really nice if they had some third party something.
Yeah. Now
I
see.
mean, see this. You got to think third party a little bit differently now because granted, you want to see big third party games, and me, I can't outside of like Call of Duty and Battlefield like that. What other really big third party? It's probably going to see an Assassin's Creed game. I don't know if it's going to be Origins, but like the independent scene, which is extremely big right now. Everybody's trying to put. I mean, if you look at limited run games, there's tons of indie games that are coming out for PlayStation 4. A lot of them just go over the radar, really, because it's not a lot of pomp and circumstance in a lot of those things. But those are third party games, and from my understanding, there's going to be a lot for the Switch where it comes to the indie scene going there because the indie scene
Time
right
will
now is
tell.
really highly developed.
Time will
PlayStation
tell.
4.
Time will tell.
I mean, and that's fine. There's nothing
Yeah.
wrong with the indie games. I mean, it's the development for most of them obviously is a lower cost and that sort of thing, and you can get new ideas and great things. Because I mean, look at Cuphead. Cuphead was basically kind of an indie type of deal. But my issue is if all they ever do is Nintendo stuff, which is fine, those games are classic and they're timeless for a reason. If they never get around to having, like, I don't know, a really unique Star Wars game or a really interesting, I don't know, anything like, an X-Men game for the hell of it, it's like, why do I even need their system if only thing they have is, what is it? They're coming out with another Mario Maker, which is fine. To me, Mario Maker is a system seller for me. But beyond that, it's like, okay, why do I need to give them $300?
No, and I get you. But when I look at the past, just from conversations I've had outside of Konami and Capcom for Super Nintendo, really everybody talks about either Konami, Capcom, or Nintendo games for Super Nintendo.
Without a doubt. And
And
that's,
now
yeah, but
Capcom is doing shit, Nintendo, you know?
yeah. No, I mean, that's probably what the issue is, because Ubisoft isn't really reliable. I mean, they
Yeah.
make Monopoly and they make Assassin's Creed and Uno and stuff like that.
And
But
Assassin's
Rabbit, yeah, and
Well, let me
exactly,
steer the
the more
direction.
Assassin's Creed.
Yeah. Well, speaking of Assassin's Creed, we got Assassin's Creed Origins with the $800 collectible edition, which I can't even fathom how they're even going to justify anybody buying that. But in any case, speaking of Assassin's Creed, okay, we had another zombie survival game come out. I don't know about you, but are there some things that are just a little bit well overdone, like over the hill? Probably just they need to give that genre a rest. Is there anything out there that you think that kind of needs to, kind of go away a little bit for a while? I think zombie games need to be
Creed.
one of them. Assassin's Creed, I could
I
buy
think
that.
because like Jesus, like they come out with one almost every freaking year, if not two a year, and then they got ones that people don't even know about really much, as those 2D ones that have come out on Xbox and PlayStation. Yeah, they're a little bit sick with that. Like, just give it a rest a bit.
GQ.
Well, I think I think I agree with that. Assassin's Creed, honestly, yes, granted, the new one looks great, and it's not hard with today's hardware to make a game look great. The problem is, and especially if you slap an $800 price tag on your collector's edition, if the game comes out with one glitch, then it's going to be like, dude, what do you guys been doing all this time? You spent all this time making a ridiculously overpriced super limited collector's edition, and you still suck at making the game. So I mean,
right?
No, for real. Like
Yeah.
that the last three releases, if I remember right, because it did. What was it? It wasn't Black Flag. It was after Black Flag was what was that game called? Because I have it. I don't even remember. It shows you how much I care about it. I don't even really remember the title. But then they had Rogue, Syndicate, and then there was one other one that came right before that, and it
Help
was
us
like
out, Junkies. Which one is it? Right. Help us
Yeah,
out,
it was like
Junkies. Which one was
glitch
that?
yeah, it was this glitch upon glitch, and it's just like you come out with all these really nice looking collector's editions, but your game is still trash right now until you patch it, a week or two after the fact, or even more. So I mean, for them to come out with this insane $800 collector's edition, they better this thing better be AAA 100% perfect, the way rare games used to be, like when they would delay a rare game and bring it out like later. It needs to be that good. Because if not, it's like, dude, it's more of the same. Why should I give you $800 for a 28-inch still plastic statue? Like, I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't understand how they can even justify that. Okay, well, what about we also saw Marvel versus Capcom Infinity get a story demo released yesterday. A lot of people probably didn't have a chance to download it. I know like people like Maximilian, dude, he was playing it like almost right away. So obviously he must have the insider track. Did anybody get to download it and play it? I know it's downloading for me right now. I didn't get a chance to play it now. Assassin's Creed Syndicate.
I need to download that actually.
Yeah.
Because Waffles actually put that in the one of the groups last night.
Yeah.
And so I need to actually and I went on my iPad and actually started the queue, but I didn't actually turn my PlayStation on yet to download it. I'm gonna definitely check it out, but the problem with that game is it's looking dated already. It's not a good thing.
Yeah.
No, it just is because it's like, okay, fine. Every fighter's got its own art style, its own way that they want to do the presentation. But the problem is, it's like, okay, for example, Street Fighter Five. A lot of people go yay or nay with Street Fighter Five. The feet are too big, the hands are too big. This character doesn't look right, whatever. But when you really get down to it, if you look at the characters, they look good, as far as the faces and all that. The PC modding community has gone through and made a heck of a lot of changes and made them look even better. So even like, the Street Fighter we were playing at the fight night, the modded one, I'm looking at the Marvel Capcom models, and granted, these are still technically early, but they are running out of time. It's like, dude, the PC modding community is killing it. It's like they
Yeah,
could
they
have made
are.
these characters look way better. Like Chun-Li looks horrible. Not even just be mean about it. She looks terrible. So it's like, okay, yeah. And then you got Z, Dragon Ball's Fighters gets announced, and it's like, dude, you're playing the cartoon. Straight up playing the
Right.
cartoon
Straight
now.
up.
It's not even a question. It's like, yeah, they've melded that. They finally melded that gap that's always been there of like, okay, yeah, it always, you just had the charging and the power-ups and all that, but it was always kind of treated like a cutscene. No, this is
Oh,
like fluid now.
here's a
So
good one. Anthony
yeah,
Mentor is over there on Facebook asking us, Marvel vs. Capcom or Dragon Ball after seeing E3. Dragon Ball without question. I would buy that immediately after seeing it.
I'm getting I'm
Marvel
getting
vs.
both though.
Capcom.
So I mean,
I
I
mean,
can't
I'm
really
gonna get
give
both too. Yeah,
your opinion.
and of course, we probably will see Megashawn buy Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite just because Black Panther is DLC. He'll probably get in there just so he can make a somewhat halfway decent showing of it, get completely whooped in at fight night, but still be proud and say, I got to play Panther, that kind of stuff.
Here's the thing though, they better announce a collector's edition for Dragon Ball. I don't know
Yeah,
what's
that
going to
would be
be in it,
nice.
but they better announce one because I'm definitely getting my collector's edition of Marvel. So I want a collector's edition of Dragon Ball to match.
LGZ's checking in. Hey there, Daidokuji. Yes, snap, snap, snap. We can hear you.
You can hear me now.
Yes, we can hear
What the
you.
hell is going on with this thing?
Don't know.
Ooh, collector's edition of Soul Calibur. That'd be
Yeah,
interesting.
collector's edition of Soul Calibur. I want a new Soul Calibur game, but that's just me. I would love to see a Bushido blade actually.
Deep in Tekken.
Yeah, I would love to see a Bushido blade actually. Now that I think about it, a Bushido blade done right nowadays.
That could be interesting.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah,
be
back
pretty
to
decent.
Anthem though. Back to Anthem. Anthem, honestly, looking at it, looks gorgeous. I mean, it's Xbox One enhanced game.
What is it
can
about?
be played in 4K. It's almost kind of just from the look of it, it's kind of a cross between Mass Effect and Gears.
Oh, okay.
So I mean, it's that type of game. I mean, I didn't watch the entire trailer to see what they were talking about, but I mean, just from the looks of it, it's your third person view, running around shooting up aliens, the usual thing. But it looks great, which again, you're getting to the point where if a game doesn't look great, that means that either it's an indie title that's supposed to look, retro, or the company ain't doing their job and making it look how it's supposed to look, because the systems can handle this stuff now, especially now that you got the Xbox One X coming, which is still the dumbest name. They should have just called it the Scorpio.
Yeah.
Then again, that probably would have messed
Scorpio
people up.
was
Like,
dope.
oh, it's a new system. No, it's still an Xbox One. It's just the Pro. Actually, they couldn't have called it Pro. That would have been
No,
stupid.
they couldn't.
Xbox
Nope.
One Pro.
They
Like,
couldn't.
oh, really?
Right.
Really copying that hard.
Right.
So I don't know.
Geez.
Xbox One Premium or the Xbox One Elite, because they already got an Elite controller, so just call it the Xbox One Elite.
Yeah, that would have been dope. Yeah, that would have been it. But then they would be like,
what I
"Oh,
would've
we
called
don't want to confuse them with the control." Whatever, man. If it's the elite, if it's the
elitist,
ultimate,
the elitist edition,
the elitist edition. Yeah, that works. That works absolutely. Xbox. Ooh, Fallen Marvel. He might win this one. Xbox One Prime. I kind of like it.
Prime.
Kind of like
Okay,
it.
I guess
Kind of like that. That would be dope, dude. That would be really dope. I like that. That would have been dope.
Send a like out for that one. I like that.
Yeah, that would have been really dope. Dido, you've been real quiet since you snapped your fingers and actually joined us in Never Neverland. You still there? Hello? Guess not.
It does not seem.
I don't know what the hell is going on right now. I want to punch this thing in the face.
doesn't
Well,
have a
you're
face, it's
talking,
computer.
so
I know it doesn't have it. If it had a face, I'd punch it because, like, I have no idea what's going on. I'm assuming the webcam is the microphone. If I sound great, that's good.
Yeah. You do.
What were we saying?
What was I saying? Oh, we were talking about
We're
Xbox
talking
One
about
X
the Xbox
names.
One X.
And
Yeah,
Fallen
I
Marvel
think I
said
heard
that
something about
Xbox
the
One
Prime.
would have been a dope
That
name.
probably would have sounded really really cool. It's like whoever's naming the Xbox One, the Xboxes needs to get fired because he doesn't know how to count.
But here's the other problem. If you call it Prime, it means it's the kind of the original, so to speak. So
They should call it the DF or the DE, the
DF?
Xbox Definitive Edition.
Heck yeah, it's another re-release.
Okay, all right. Sure.
No, here we go. Take it back to video. Take it back to video. Xbox One Criterion.
Yeah, Criterion. Yeah, that would have been dope. Oh man, I miss Criterion games and their burnout racing games. Those things were so much fun.
Well, hold on. I was talking to Waffles actually at our fight night. He said that there's one game that's coming out that's kind of like a fusion between Forza and Burnout. I don't remember what it was called though.
Looking forward to that.
Forza and Burnout.
Wow. Yeah, that'd be really
like it has the look of
Wow.
Forza, but it's got the playability of and the zaniness of Burnout. So I'm like, that would be a good
that
mixture.
Would be pretty sweet.
Is it not a new Burnout game?
I don't think it is. I think it's just some other game coming.
Well, seeing as how you're the only one of us that has the PlayStation VR, what did you think of the VR showings that they had?
Now that I haven't got to see all of them yet. Some people are saying this should have just been an intermission. I guess so. They were saying it was kind of boring, but I don't know. I mean, in all honesty, with VR, I have not been 100% disappointed in it because, granted, there's not a lot of major physical releases, but they have a heck of a lot of online digital download stuff. Because I mean, I actually downloaded Fruit Ninja VR, and that is fun as hell.
Really?
Because you get to use both move controls as samurai swords or as katanas and go to town. So I mean, for me, that like stuff like that is fun, And then I need to try out Tekken 7 in VR to see what that's all about. Because I got to see what is it they're going to have you do? Because that just sounds appealing.
I have no idea. I don't know.
I'm gonna have to set that up one day and give that a try.
What would you
Tekken
want
7
them
VR.
to do if they were to do something in VR? What would you want them to do in VR that they haven't done or attempted to do yet?
Star Wars Jedi Battle Arena
online.
You know what the crazy thing is? Battle Arena is actually an Atari game, so they would be remaking an Atari 2600 game.
That they would.
Oh my gosh! You just said something that reminded me of something that this floated underneath the radar completely. Speaking of the Atari 2600, Hyperkin, the people that made the Retron and the Retron 5 and the Retron Trio, they're doing what is called the Retron 77, and what the Retron 77 is going to be is an Atari 2600 that is HDMI out, so you can pop in your friggin' Atari 2600 games and play them, your old cartridges, and play them on your HD TV, which it sounds kind of interesting because I have a shit ton of Atari 2600 games over there that I can't play because
it's interesting, but oh my god, those things are going to look
jaggy.
It's what it is. I mean, it is what it is. It's gonna be. It's just gonna be blocks, but it's fine. It is that's what they were.
Retro gaming.
No, dude, put those on a 4K TV. You'll be sitting there like, really?
Yo, man. I should get that so I can get basketball and say, hey man, I'm gonna take you to school. Let's go play some basketball and throw in Atari basketball. And he'd be looking at me like, what is this?
I still got that bug, man. I still got that. Yeah, I still got that. I still got it was originally Coleco / Nintendo Donkey Kong for the Atari. I still have that. Obviously still have Spider-Man and
I got a copy of ET over there staring at me.
I still got ET as well.
Superman.
Yeah, Superman was terrible.
It was terrible.
But I still have it though. I still have it. But no, I'm dead serious. I want them to make a VR Jedi Arena because The Wii failed me in that. It's like, dude,
They had
full
their
well your
chance.
controller looks like
Yeah.
it should have been a lightsaber.
Yes.
So it's like the tech is there. It's the VR helmet
Yes.
is there. The tracking is perfect.
Perfect.
I want a lightsaber simulator, or
Yeah,
I don't care what it could be,
yeah.
whatever. But give me a true lightsaber game.
That would be really nice. That would be really nice.
Yep. Here's the other thing that I haven't heard, and it could just be because it's still a little ways off. I haven't heard about any more VR stuff for Battlefront 2. Because that Battlefront VR mission was fun.
It was a lot of fun. It was a whole lot of fun. I mean, they need to have. I want them to do a whole campaign in that. Just vehicles. That would be really cool. Now, if you were to do a whole mission like moving around, do you think that would be like too disorienting, or would that be something? Because like even LGZ brought out, when is Outlast 3 coming out? Like doing a horror game in VR would be incredible. Oh, how was Resident Evil in VR? I don't remember anybody even talking about it.
I haven't
played Resident Evil. That's another game that's getting a patch for the Xbox One X.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, part of me feels like I'm tempted if I ever get an Xbox One X to just pick up Resident Evil for that when it's like $20 or something.
Yeah. I don't know. I've heard that it's good. I mean, you obviously you can play the entire game that way. I would not do it that way first because you probably
think it made me sick.
I think I get sick and from a heart attack.
Oh.
Yeah, that would be fun, pretty creepy. That it would be fun. Let's see. Well, what didn't we see from E3 that we wished we had seen? Was there anything that you were disappointed by in E3 before we get out of here? We got like 2 minutes.
No, because I mean, again, it's E3. I don't look forward to it like I used to anymore. It's just if I see something cool, great. If not, didn't know it was coming anyway, or I haven't been paying attention or close enough attention. So I got what I wanted with Cuphead. Because how many E3s in a row is this they've been talking about that game?
Like the third one, maybe.
Right. So it's like they finally got it done. Yay. September 19th or 30th or whatever the heck it was. I don't know.
Right.
16th.
Okay. Well, started playing
I'm gonna sound
music,
like a little Sega Mark.
We're almost
I wanted
almost
to see
ready
some
to
of
get
that
out of here.
Sega
Oh, Red Dead Redemption 2. Did we see anything about Red Dead Redemption 2? No?
Not that I'm aware of.
Okay, well.
Wait, what did you say, Dido?
Yeah. Sega games. I wanted to see some freaking Sega games.
Yeah.
Sega doesn't care about nobody no more.
No, they do not. Oh, Fallen Marvel's saying, wow, Fallen Marvel's just read them off. Red Dead 2, Last of Us 2, Final Fantasy 7 Remake, Kingdom Hearts 3, which kind of had a trailer, but it was kind of like a real tease. So we didn't really see anything.
The other thing. Final Fantasy 7 Remake, they basically pissed on that already. Like, it's potentially 3 years away. It's like it's been
3. I thought it said next year.
Wow,
it's like it's been 14 years away for the longest. So hurry up.
Wow.
Like, what's another 3 years, right? You can wait a little bit longer. Yeah, whatever.
Another 3 years is another 3 years is a brand new system.
Right. It absolutely is a new system. But anyway, Marvel. Let's see. Did anybody go see The Mummy this past weekend, real quick, before we get out of here?
It was not good.
I didn't see it.
You could.
Sorry to hear
Tom
that.
Cruise's part could have and should have been played by a younger actor, or by just basically anybody else could have played that character.
Do you think that would have
made
it better?
The chick that played the Mummy was cool because it was the same girl that played the Scissor Leg Girl and Kingsman, and also she played, I forgot her name, but in Star Trek, Beyond Darkness or whatever the heck it was called. Yeah. So
all right.
Beyond. That's what it was.
I see. Well, in any case, guys, we're gonna go ahead and get out of here. Thank you for joining us. For Daidakuji, for GQ, we'll see you guys next week. Peace out.
Take care, everybody.